from other states, including the state that I live in, which is the state of denial, unless I'm vacationing in the state of confusion. So, welcome today. Welcome to the Career Compass and Career Compass Concierge Connection, C4. We're going to tell you a little bit about that later on today. But today we're here to talk about what's going on in real estate. Now, before we get started, I want to go ahead and introduce myself and introduce the company a little bit here. And Susie, yeah, hi Susie, how you doing? Anyway, we're going to introduce the company a little bit so you kind of know who we are. The Career Compass. First off, my name is Wellington Pendel II. Bah, okay. That's a terrible name. So everybody calls me Beef Wellington, like the food, Beef Wellington. It's like a fancy dish you get on a cruise ship or something. So laugh it up. That's what everybody calls me. And most of you are friends of mine, and good to see you. Anyway, C4 and the Career Compass. We'll explain exactly who we are in 30 seconds. The Career Compass Success Seminar is the #1 live seminar in the state of California. By far, nothing even comes close. We do more live realtor success seminars for the success of realtors. That's exactly what they are. Than any company out there. In fact, most of the companies combined. We do 8 to 10 seminars in the state of California, plus Las Vegas. And basically, this seminar is amazing. If you are anywhere near the state of California, please consider going to one of these. It is the #1 seminar by far when it comes to being successful as a realtor. And we have a special agreement with our third-party affiliate company to renew your license. And there's an open bar, and it's amazing. So it's the greatest training ever. Open bar, license renewal through our third-party affiliate company, and you get to come back for free for life forever. It's amazing. And it's nothing. It's like $195. It's like lunch. All right. The other thing that we do is we have our Career Compass Concierge Connection, which is the fastest growing coaching program in the history of real estate in California. It's unbelievable. We have thousands of people in this. This is my opinion. I don't care if you're in Hawaii or Alaska or Maine. This is a program you absolutely should be in 100%. This right here has been called the replacement. And we're not advertising that, been called the replacement to all the stuff that your board, your state board doesn't do, and NAR. It's amazing. People call me, is this the replacement for NAR? No, guys. Does it do a lot of stuff? Amazing stuff. And everybody should be in this. It's literally free. I'm going to show you this later on. It's amazing. This actually puts money in your pocket every single year, even if you don't use it. It's unbelievable. Every realtor should be in this 100%. If you want to talk about a national program that every realtor should be in, that's it right there. And we're already on our way. It's going to be great. So we'll talk about that a little bit at the end. So I want to go ahead and give you our agenda for today. So what happened is the first thing we're going to talk about, because what's going on with real estate? Let me just explain it this way. What's happening in real estate right now has never happened before. This is the biggest thing that's ever happened in real estate. This will affect your real estate career, whether you survive in real estate, succeed in real estate, or literally fail out in real estate more than anything that you've ever done, by far. Nothing like this has ever happened, and the ramifications of this and what's going to be coming down will change this business forever, 100%. People who are millionaire real estate agents are going to fail out of this business. People who just started in real estate are going to be successful. It is going to be a shakeup like you've never seen. And the way you've done real estate in the past is totally done. You're going to have to do it completely differently in the future. But if you do it differently in the future, you're going to be a millionaire, because your market share is going to explode. And we've already seen this start to happen. So that's the thing about it. Things are changing. Change means opportunity. So we're going to talk about what the heck happened. We're going to talk about the pre-decision in the Missouri case, which is the big 3 things you can and cannot do anymore. We're going to talk about the $1.8 billion verdict that is against us, realtors, in the state of California, in the state of Missouri, and the ramifications of that, because that is just the beginning, folks. That is just the beginning. It's coming to a state near you. What this means, do we have a future in real estate? Well, it's a good question. Some do. I'll tell you right now, some realtors, okay, brokers are going to have a tough time. Okay, they're going to have to get past this. Realtors, some of you are going to succeed massively at a level you've never succeeded before. And some of you are going to wonder what happened to your bank accounts in a couple of years, because they're going to be empty. That's what's going to be happening. Are realtors done? No. I'll tell you that right now. Some are, some aren't. What can you do to not only survive, but literally make this into something that is the best thing that ever happened in your career? We're going to go over that exactly. And we're going to show you exactly how to do this before the end of the day. Sound good? A couple side notes. If you are a Career Compass member, if you are a Career Compass fan, if you are new to Career Compass, we actually have these live classes. We have 24 different live classes, all the way from the EAT, the PAT, the lawyer letter, the 7% technique, all these great techniques, along with this class and ethics and everything else like that. And we have these classes, and we can come to your office live. If you would like to have our trainers come to your office live, please put your name and your phone number right in the chat boxes. All you have to do, our office will get you signed up for that, and there's no cost. We come to your office for free. We bring these classes live to your office. So if you're an agent, please get that information to your managers. Okay? If you're a manager, broker, or anything, any person of influence in your office, put your name and number up there. We will come to your office, bring a class like this, and we'll even bring you steak and lobster disguised like pizza. Okay, enough about that. All right, here's my promise to you, because I got a lot of complaints about this last time. They said, Wellington, I hate these Zoom calls or these lunch and learns because they're always trying to sell you something at the end. Here's my promise to you. Number one, please stay to the end. I promise everything that we're going to talk about today is going to affect your career. Everything, okay? This is going to slaughter for about an hour of your life to save your career. You need that. Next, there will be I know you're thinking, oh, he's going to sell some big thing and he already showed it to us. No, there's no big sale. What we have is so small, it'll be the smallest thing you ever own in your life. And like I said, it puts money in your pocket. There's none of this. So don't be afraid that there's going to be some, $1,000 a month thing or some website to sign up or some database program to sign up. Nothing like that. Please stay to the end. Okay. And the last thing is, for those who are here at the end, and I hope it's you because it's going to affect your career, here's a little bonus for you. After we get done talking about the DOJ, NAR stuff, I will go over the new tax laws that apply just to realtors. I will show you how realtors who we coach are paying zero or very close to zero taxes legally to the IRS and to their state with no risk of an audit. If you are a realtor, you need to hear this stuff. This is probably going to be worth $20,000 a year to you because it's going to change the way you file your taxes. So there's a little bonus. So stick around. I'm going to give you that at the end. All right, let's get into it. Here we go. What in the Sam hell happened? What happened? Well, let's start out with this. There is a case out of Missouri called, just as we all know, the Sitzer-Burnett case, right? And basically what that case was saying is that realtors, the National Association of Realtors, the state board, the local boards, and the big real estate brokerages, i.e., who are they? Well, Keller Williams, Anywhere. You guys know who Anywhere was? Anywhere is the new Realgy. Realgy is the parent ownership company of Century 21, Coldwell Banker, Century 21, ERA, Sotheby's, Better Homes and Gardens, and a few others. So it's Keller Williams, Anywhere, Remax, and Berkshire Hathaway. Now, those four companies basically encompass about 80% of the face-to-face residential realtors in the state, or in entire United States. So in this case, here's what they were saying. They were saying that all those entities, all the way from NAR to the boards, even the MLS, and those four big companies conspired and had a conspiracy and a collusion, should we say, to keep real estate commissions higher than they should be. Because like in Canada, it's about 1%. In Australia, it's like nothing. In Europe, you stand out on your front porch and say, I'm selling my house. Only in the United States do we have a 5 to 6% commission rate of $1 million house. And this is why they're going after us, because the money here, the amount of, how much billions and billions and billions and hundreds of billions of dollars are paid in commission to realtors every single year. It's staggering. It's unbelievable. So the point is, you've got an industry that's already looked on as being overpaid. Let me give you an example, okay? Let's say you're selling $1 million house. Now, in California, that's very average. In other states, in New York and Florida and Texas and Washington, those are all average prices. But, let's say you're selling a $500, $700, $800 million house. So make the numbers easy. Let's say it's $1 million house. Now, you get a 6% commission in the United States because that's what we're used to, right? So guess what? That's $60,000 in commission that the seller, the customer, the client, the population sees going to realtors or a realtor. Have you ever heard, oh, you guys make so much money, you just put a sign in the front yard? You've heard it 1,000 times in your life. This is why. You sell $1 million house. Let's say it's 2020 or 2021 or 2022 for that matter. It's $1 million house in a hot market like Washington, Texas, Florida, California, New York, or any of those other ones. It sells in a matter of hours because the interest rates are 2.5%. Well, that's the problem, because you just made $60,000 according to the customer, according to the client, in 2 hours or 2 days or a week. Well, what's the average household income in the entire United States? $64,000. $64,000 is what the average person out there, the average household, works all year to earn. And then they look at you as a realtor and go, that realtor just made almost my household income in 2 hours just because the interest rates are great. That's the problem, because people think that we're way overpaid. They don't understand. They don't understand that it can be cut between two people. It has to be split between the broker. There's expenses, et cetera, et cetera. They don't get that. They just think you made $60,000. So that was the whole thing that it was based on, right? That's a public, exactly. Thank you, Andre. That's exactly what we're saying. A Missouri case saying that NAR, the defense, the big four, as I talked about, colluded to keep commissions higher than they should be. That was the case about it. Now, was there a conspiracy? The jury got absolutely manipulated. They preyed on that jury and said, "Oh, look at the money these realtors are making. $60,000 in 2020 and 2021. Even on $500,000, that's 30 grand. Mr. and Mrs. Jury, remember, how much do you make in a year? Oh, you only make 45 to 50 grand? Well, that realtor sitting right over there just made your yearly income on one side of one house. There must be a conspiracy." That's what happened. And then they did this because theoretically there's no conspiracy, because here's why. The seller is agreeing to the commission. The seller is agreeing to this. Folks, I know I'm a very excitable guy and I talk really fast. So if I talk too fast, just listen quicker. Anyway, so think about it this way. Is there a conspiracy? No, the seller is agreeing to the commission. Now, I know there's a rule. We'll get to this in a minute. The rule that you have to put a commission on the buy side in the MLS. That's one of the things that they said that's collusion, because the seller, according to them, even if it's $1, the seller is forced, if they want to participate in the MLS system, which everybody does because that's where everybody goes to buy houses. If you want to participate in the MLS system, Mr. or Mrs. Seller, you've got to put a commission on the buy side. That is the heart of their case from the Department of Justice, because they're saying that the seller is now paying the commission of a client, of an agent that's working against their interest, because the buyer's agent is there to get the best offer, aren't they? The best price. That's not in the interest of the seller, according to the Department of Justice. Now, many of you know the 7% technique and the 7% extreme technique, authored by the Career Compass at our seminar NRC4 program. Let me just tell you right now, that is the heart of it right there. Those techniques fix that problem. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's okay. If you are not familiar with something called the 7% technique and the 7% extreme technique, please do your career, do this industry, do everybody a favor and learn that. It is a revolution in this industry. It's very simple to do. We teach it every single day. I just taught it yesterday in a live class. Please learn that. It's easy to learn. We'll teach it to you. We promise it'll change your career, like it has for tens of thousands of agents. So there's Troy just says, I use the 7% technique and it works amazing. There you go. There's people on this call saying it. Okay, I don't have to sell you anything, folks. This is the real deal. If you are not familiar with the kind of stuff that Career Compass teaches, you must have that in your career. Back to this. Was there a conspiracy? They actually said to the jury, was there a conspiracy? And did those people right over there participate? So they had to fill out this form. Yes, 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 yes. If they got all the way down to the yes, there was an affirmative verdict. So they did. Not only was there a conspiracy, not only was it planned, not only did those people participate in it, but they're guilty. So here are some of the things they use to prove this, which, again, you're going to just roll your eyes here. Training manuals for realtors from some of the big brokers. I'm not going to mention any names, but some of the training manuals had things in it, and they had lots of this stuff. Things like, do not show homes with less than 2% commission on them. That was actually in the training manual. Are you kidding me? If that isn't a conspiracy, then nothing else is. This is what they use. This is a big problem for the people that printed this. Because basically you're saying, don't show a house that doesn't pay you enough. Forget the criteria of the seller, of the buyer, okay? Forget the criteria of the person who wants to purchase the home and what they want. You just show houses that pay you the most. Now, is that realistic? Yeah, it's realistic, folks. You got in real estate to make money. That's how it works. You should be compensated for your services, and you should be compensated well. But let me ask you a quick question. Is it a conspiracy, and is it wrong? Okay, is it wrong to incentivize buyers agents who have buyers to come and look at your house because they're being paid to do so? No, that's not a conspiracy. That's called advertising. Why do you think, okay, why do you think at Costco, okay, or Sam's Club, or wherever you go, why do you think the chickens, the $5 chickens, are in the clear in the back? They are literally the furthest, as far as distance goes, the number of feet, the furthest away from the front door they can get. So is the milk at regular grocery stores, because you're making your customers walk by all the other products so you can sell more. Is that a conspiracy? No, it's just called marketing. And a commission on the buy side is nothing but marketing. But they played on the mercies, okay, and the feelings of these people and got the verdict. So this is what happened. Now, let me go ahead and just make your day. Ready for this? This entire subject, this entire issue of the Department of Justice that got involved in the Burnett-Stitzer case, the entire thing was done and put together and would never raise its ugly head again during the Trump administration. It was done. Here's what the Trump administration did. This is right from Inman. The Department of Justice started investigating the real estate industry under the, sorry, this is actually from Yahoo. My mistake. Inman's a great source too. Real estate industry under the Trump administration, and NAR, that's who they're suing, agreed to measures including increased price transparency to settle the case. So you got to show where the money goes, why it's this amount, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Total transparency. And the Trump administration goes, okay, we think they're fair. That's good. They're going to do it. Ready for this? I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican. It doesn't make any difference to me. This is going to burn your backside. Check this out. The case was settled. It was done during Trump. Biden officials in January 2021. What happened in January 2021? 2021? Anybody want to tell me? Yeah, Biden was inaugurated or installed. Anyway, Biden officials in 2020 pulled out of that agreement, just completely violated the agreement, said, you know what, we're not going to keep our word, right? Saying they wanted the ability, watch this, the ability to pursue future antitrust claims against NAR. I'm going to let that sink in, guys. I'm going to let that sink in. I really am. Okay, I really am. Because there you go. This whole thing was done. And now, because it's a money grab, which it is, I'll prove it to you in a minute. Okay, there's a money grab. This is not about antitrust, okay? And this is not about buyer's agency. This is not about being paid too much. It's amazing to me that lawyers are trying this case. And they're saying that 5 to 6% commission is too much for realtors, while lawyers make 40 to 50% commission, don't they? Okay, yeah. This is not about that. This is about a money grab, because the money that's going to be grabbed because of this is in the billions. Let me show you. All right, there it is. Now, how much are they saying that the National Association of Realtors, the MLS system, all the boards, and all the big four, and coming to a small brokerage near you very soon, is really due? Well, they said it's about $13.7 billion that the customer has been basically overcharged. Now, this right here would bankrupt almost everybody, pretty much everybody. That would bankrupt NAR and everybody else, just that amount. But that's not where it stops. Watch this. There's this thing called treble damages. What's a treble damage? Okay, a treble damage is basically a watered down version of punitive damage. So I'm going to go ahead and just talk, everybody on the call here. Okay, everybody on the call here. So I'm going to go ahead and pick out Keith Roby. Keith Ruby, are you there? Okay, Keith. Ready, Keith? Let me ask you a quick question. If you wrong me for $10,000, you do something that damages me for $10,000, I can sue you for $10,000. Those are my damages, right, Keith?
Yes.
Okay, so check this out. You owe me $10,000 because you wronged me. So let me think about this. That doesn't seem good enough, because you did something bad on purpose. So now the law allows for something called punitive damages. So I'm going to get my $10,000 back, and I'm going to go ahead and hit you up for another $50,000 because you were a bad boy and you did a bad thing and you're a bad person, and that's called punitive damages. Now, treble damages are the same exact thing as punitive damages, but one big difference: treble damages are limited only 3 times the original amount. Punitive damages can be anything. So of the $13.7 billion that they're saying that are owed to consumers in Missouri, it's really more $40 billion, and that is what the Department of Justice is going after NAR and all these people in this case for. $40 billion. This will bankrupt every single person involved in the case. Now, this is going to involve more than over 20 to 30 MLSs, if not all of them. So here's realtors, okay? Here's Keller Williams, here's Berkshire, here's Remax, and here's basically Anywhere, which is Coldwell Banker, Century 21, ERA, Sotheby's, Better Homes and Gardens, and a few others. Okay, we got that. That amount of money will bankrupt every single one of those entities, as well as most small brokerages. And by the way, this is just the beginning, because a lot of experts say that this could be upward of $135 billion. If that happens, and that's worst case scenario, if that happens, every brokerage in the United States will go bankrupt. Every board will be bankrupt. Every MLS system will be bankrupt. So there will be no brokerages, no boards, no NAR, no state boards, nobody, no MLS systems. You will not have an MLS system to put your data in where everybody can go. All of that will go bankrupt, every single bit of it, at $135 billion. So let me ask you a quick question. Who's still standing if that happens? Anybody want to go ahead and unmute yourself and take a huge, wild guess? Yeah, this little company called Zillow. Now, this is just my opinion, and I want to go ahead and put that out there right now. This is just my opinion. In my opinion, Zillow wants this to happen, and they may have funded it. I don't know. I'm just saying, okay? I'm just saying it, okay? Now, actually not Redfin, Isaac, okay? In my opinion, Redfin left NAR right before this happened. And that's why, because like, oh, see, we're not part of their system. Okay, cowards. Anyway, my point being is, in my opinion, this is being promoted, okay? Being promoted. Okay, yeah, I know Redfin has been named, and so has EXP. Okay, at this point, everybody's being named. We're going to get to that in a second. In my opinion, this is being promoted by Zillow. It's just my opinion, because here's why. Anybody ever heard of Facebook? Are you on Facebook right now? You want to know why that's the only social media platform of its type? Here's why. Everything else went out of business. MySpace and everybody else and all the upstarts went out of business because there was an antitrust lawsuit against all the social media platforms. And guess what? It put everybody out of business except the biggest one who could afford the settlement, which was Facebook. Facebook funded the lawsuit. They funded the lawsuit that was against themselves and all their competitors, knowing they're the only ones that can survive. Get it? Does that sound familiar? It sure does. Is that what's happening here? I don't know, but maybe. All right, so let's keep going here. Now, right before this verdict came out for the $1.8 billion, okay, here's what happened. RE/MAX offered to settle and get out of the case for $50 million. And why? Here's why. Any more than $50 million and RE/MAX would go bankrupt. Now, think about that for a second. We live in a time when RE/MAX, one of the greatest brokerages in the history of the world, one of the original brokerages, I mean, they were OGs, okay, at $50 million is bankrupt. And Zillow's net worth, Zillow's market cap, you know what a market cap is on Wall Street right now, market cap is $10.6 billion, $10.6 billion. And $50 million is going to put RE/MAX out of business. That's what's happened in this industry. And what happened? We allowed Zillow to become this big, didn't we? Yes, we did. We gave them the keys to the castle. We allowed them to basically take all of our information on all of our listings and advertise for buyer leads, then take that information and sell it back to us in the form of their Premier Agent program. And by the way, even though it hurts them, I still think they're going to be the last one standing, because here's why. Let me ask you a quick question. If you are a Premier Agent, if you're that dumb still, okay, no offense, but if you're still a Premier Agent, what the hell are you thinking? You're basically feeding the dragon that's eating you. But if you're still a Premier Agent with Zillow, paying $400, $500, $600, $700, $800, every single month, or even more, up to $2,500 for some zip code or something like that, let me ask you a question. That's your information to start with. And when you get those buyer leads from Zillow, are they worth as much as they used to be now? No. Because here's why. If buyer's agency goes away, or people think buyer's agency goes away, now not only do you have to pay for the lead from Zillow, but you also have to do what? You have to now go convince the buyer that they should pay your commission outside of escrow on that side. That makes that lead much less valuable. So in other words, Zillow's stock just plummeted 9% because of this announcement. But I think they're going to weather the storm because they think they're going to see you go out of business. But Anywhere, which is Realgy, okay, Global Banker, Century 21, ERA, Sotheby's, kind of thing, they settled this particular case for 80 million. Excuse me, 80 million. So they were basically out of it. What does this mean? All this means is that nationally, the Department of Justice cannot sue in any other state those two entities. That's it. That does not keep them safe from any private lawsuits, which is really going to be the big deal. And I'll show you that in a second. Now, let's go ahead and keep going. Pre-verdict. Now, before the $1.8 billion verdict, here are the three things that the Department of Justice said that are binding to you right now. Here are the three things that you must do as a realtor. I don't care what state you're in. I don't care if you're up there, in Connecticut or in Oregon or Montana or anywhere. This now affects you. Number one, for the rest of your lives as a real estate professional, not realtor, because we don't know if that's going to be around. As a real estate professional, you cannot say buyer's agency is free. Here's why. We used to do this. We say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, here's what we're going to do for you. Because we're such a great brokerage, and I'm such a great agent, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I see all the best houses that come on the market. I'm going to go ahead and keep my ear to the ground for any houses that meet your criteria. I'm going to write the offer. I'm going to negotiate for you. I'm going to get the best terms. I'm going to get this. I'm going to help you with financing, blah, 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 blah. And guess what? My services are free. Free to you, because the commission is being paid by the seller as part of the seller's listing. You cannot say that anymore because it's not true. Who's really paying the buying side commission? The buyer. They're paying the entire commission because the commission is built into the price of the house, which brings up an interesting point. If buyer's agency goes away, does that mean that every single house in the MLS and every single house is going to be for sale in the future will now go down 2.5% to 3% because there's no buyer's agency? It makes you wonder, doesn't it? But it won't. It won't. We'll talk about that in a minute. So that's number one. You cannot say that buyer's agency is free anymore. Number two, okay, you cannot have an MLS anywhere in the country. No MLSs can now, you cannot search listings in the MLS by commission rate. There can be no function in any MLS in the country that searches based on the commission being paid in the MLS. And number three, which is the big one, here we go. Number three, no brokerage can mandate their agents, affiliates, franchisees, broker, owners, or anything else like that be a member of NAR, the state board, or the local board. It is now optional. As of this rolling, your participation in your board, your state board, and the National Association of Realtors is now optional. There cannot be any mandate that you have to join the board. That changes everything. And boy, that's a whole discussion in itself, because not only is NAR being sued for billions of dollars, but now a lot of realtors are going to do what? They're going to quit the board and their state board and NAR and save those dues. But you're thinking, well, Wellington, golly, gee whiz, if I'm not on the board, I won't have access to MLS. Wrong. That is a lie from the pit of Hades, ladies and gentlemen, because by law in most states, your MLS is a separate thing. You have separate MLS dues for your subscription to the MLS. You have separate dues for NAR and your state board and your local board. And then you have the DRE, which is the Department of Real Estate, 3 separate entities. There's a lot of people that have subscriptions to the MLS that do not have board membership. Look at all the appraisers. Okay, it does not have to go together. They tell you it goes together because they don't want you to realize that you could leave this, but you can. Now here comes up with the other thing: WIN forms, or whatever your state, or your CAR forms, or your NAR forms. I won't have forms. Let me explain this to you. Most realtors have been brainwashed to think that the forms that the board gives them, basically your state board, NAR, or whatever, is the only forms out there. That's not true, guys. There's about 20 different libraries of forms that have RPA, listing agreements, and everything else in them. They're all very, very correct. If you ask any transaction coordinator, any of them, they'll say, I don't care what it's written. I don't care if it's a NAR form or a CAR form or a WAR form, whatever it is. I don't care if it's written on a napkin. I just need the information. That's my point. So don't marry yourself to your local board forms. They're not that great to start with no disrespect, they're really not. So those are the 3 big things. Now, let's keep moving here. Let's go ahead and talk about commission rates, okay, and what this does, because everybody here wants to know, gee whiz, Wellington, or is buyer's agency going to be a thing of the past? Because in many states, buyer's agency is only about 30 years old. In the state of California, buyer's agents have only existed since 1994. And many of the states that you guys may be in, I know Hawaii's like 1991 or something like that. But anyway, buyer's agency has not been around that long. But let's just, for the sake of argument, say that you have a 3% listing site. It could be 2.5. Let's say you have 3. All right. Now, on the buy side, you have 3, just to make the numbers easy. Okay, many of the quote unquote, and boy, this is going to be a good one. I'm so glad you're on this talk here, because most of these pundits on YouTube have no idea what they're talking about. They're absolute empty skirts. It's amazing. Let me tell you what's really going to happen and what's really going on. Okay, many experts, quote unquote, in the media or YouTube say this was about doing away with sellers being able to pay commission of the buyer's agent. Wrong, 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 wrong. That was not the point of this, and that's not what they're going after. Okay, they don't care about that. Okay, this is absolutely not true. The real reason is this: the real goal of the suit, beyond the obvious huge money settlements, which is really the case for this. I mean, let me ask you a quick question: what do lawyers do? They sue. That's what they do. This is about suing everybody, because suing people that have money. That's what this is about. This is a money grab. I mean, the Biden administration, we want to open up antitrust lawsuits. What does that mean? That means money. That's all it means. This thing was settled. My point is this: the huge money settlement is to eliminate the rule that you must put a commission on the buyer's side. That's what this is about. Now, let me explain something to you. See this gentleman right here? Very nice guy. Okay, this is Ryan Gorman. He is the former CEO of Coldwell Banker International. Okay, and I think he was the president too. But this is the guy. He's no longer there. But this is the guy about 2.5 years ago. Now I want to tell you a story exactly of what happened. Now, Ryan Gorman and Gary Keller and a bunch of these people a couple of years ago were on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C., testifying about this very issue. And they were saying that, this is not collusion, this is not a conspiracy, et cetera, et cetera. So about 2.5 years ago, when that was going on, my cell phone, my personal cell phone, sitting right there on the desk right there, my cell phone rings, and it said it said R. Gorman, New Jersey. And I'm like, New Jersey? Because that's the headquarters for Coldwell Bankers, New Jersey. I'm like, can't be really him, can it? So I clicked, hello, picked up. I said, hello. He goes, is this Beef Wellington? I said, yes, it is. He goes, my name's Ryan Gorman, and I'm the CEO, international, and United States for Coldwell Banker. I said, sir, I do know who you are. Okay, I'm kind of like, wow, I'm a little starstruck here. He goes, do you have a few minutes to talk? This is on my cell phone. I said, yeah, no problem, no problem. He goes, okay, great. Please, Wellington, stop telling the 35,000 members and the thousands of members of C4, the 35,000 members of Career Compass, that I'm against buyer's agency. Because he heard from some of his offices that I was saying this to all of our people. And by the way, 35,000 members of Career Compass makes us the second biggest entity of realtors in the entire state of California, next to California Association of Realtors itself. So he's on the phone. I said, well, with all due respect, Mr. Gorman, the media is saying that you are against buyer's agency because Inman, the New York Times, LA Times, all these newspapers are saying that you're on Capitol Hill saying we'll get rid of buyer's agency if you just drop this case. And he goes, that's not at all what's happening. He goes, the media and the newspapers are twisting my words. No, the media would never change things and take it out of context. No, here's what he said. He goes, this entire case rests on the rule, the MLS rule, that you have to put a commission on the buy side, even if it's $1. So what Ryan said to the Department of Justice, we'll get rid of that rule so it's optional. So you don't have to put it on there. So you can't prove collusion. We'll just get rid of the rule, knowing, smart guy right here, brilliant dude, okay? Knowing that any smart, and we're going to talk about this because this is the point of this whole talk, knowing that any smart listing agent would have the tools and techniques of the brains to convince the seller that putting a commission on the buy side is in their interest because they're going to get higher offers. So nothing would change. So the rule wouldn't be there, but you'd still have just as many people putting commissions on the buy side because it's good for the industry. It's good for the seller. I'll show it to you in a minute if you don't understand how that works. And this whole case goes away. And I said, it took about a 30-minute phone call. I said, Ryan, thank you so much for explaining that to me. I will spread the word to Career Compass that that's not what you're saying, et cetera, et cetera. So right before he got off the phone, I said, Ryan, why are you calling me? Right? He goes, well, I've already spoken to the California Association of Realtors and many of the other state boards as well. I said, okay. He goes, but why Career Compass? He goes, Career Compass is the second biggest entity in the state of California next to CAR itself when it comes to membership of agents. That's how big we are. Everybody loves our stuff, and we're very, very grateful for that. And for those of you who are Career Compass members, welcome to us. We'd love to see you. So here's the thing. That was what happened. Now, if that's the case, what really happens? Let's go ahead and look at the 3%. So if we remove the rule that you have to put a commission on the buy side, what happens to the buy side? Well, here's what happens. There's a contract, isn't there not? Isn't there a contract? Yes, there is. Okay, ready? Here's my point. You can never get rid of buyer's agency commissions. You can remove the rule. The Department of Justice can say you can't mandate it, but you can never, ever get rid of it completely. It's a private contract. Ready? Let me go ahead and read the Constitution to you. There can be no law that infringes on private contract rights. None. So if the seller wants to put a commission on the buy side, they can do so regardless of this lawsuit, regardless of the rules, and regardless of anything else. You can never make it illegal for you to put a commission or a finder's fee on the buy side of a transaction. That can never be illegal. That's a private agreement between two private sovereign individuals in the United States protected by the Constitution. Okay, so Ryan was right. So let's go ahead and talk about what this means then, shall we? The 3% comes back. Nothing changes. So how do we do this? Many of the, again, experts right there in the media and YouTube say if buyer's agent commissions no longer must be paid by the seller, okay? This is the knee-jerk answer. It drives me crazy. This is totally wrong. Okay? By the seller. The solution is simply to be a better buyer's agent and prove your value. Hey, have a value proposition. Be a better value. Ready? So the buyer will be willing to pay your commission. Wrong. Dead wrong. That is absolute crap. That is not how you save buyer's agent commissions. This boat has already sailed. It's gone. You will never, I don't care how big you are. I don't care how great you are. I don't care what you know about buying a house and all this. You will never convince the seller that you're worth 3%. That boat has sailed. And let me tell you why. I'm not insulting you. I'm not insulting you. I'm telling you what has happened in the mind of the buyer in our country. Watch this. Let's talk about buyer's agents for a second, okay? Here's the road to a sale, all right? So here's a buyer's agent. Here's how things used to be 20 years ago. 20 years ago, if I'm a buyer, I would call my buyer's agent right here. And I would say, hi, Marianne, or whoever it is, I want to buy a house. Here's my criteria. Go find some houses. Okay? And she would find the houses, and then we would tour them and arrange for financing and to do the inspections and close. That's basically the road to a sale, is it not? Yes, that's how it used to be. But because of things like Zillow, Opendoor, OfferPad, Realtor.com, which we don't even own anymore, which is insane to me. We don't even own that. We don't even own our own namesake. It's owned by Rupert Murdoch and News Corp. How dumb can we be? I mean, no wonder NAR's getting sued. How dumb can they be? Anyway, just my opinion. Okay, don't come after me. So this is the road that used to be. That's no longer the case. Fast forward 20 years to 2020 to today's. What does it happen now? Do your buyers call you right at the beginning of the transaction? No. They go on to Zillow. They go to Opendoor, OfferPad, Realtor.com, and they search the area. They search the houses. They know the houses they want to buy. They've done everything that they think you're going to do. Have you ever heard this? Oh, I can do it all myself. You know they've said that. So now, if I bring in a buyer's agent, it's not until the end of the transaction, right before the close. That's if I actually want one. So now, 20 years ago, they started down here. 20 years later, the buyer's agent starts there, or I avoid them entirely because of that. So I don't care how great you say you are. You are a great buyer's agent, but that is not what and who is going to save your commissions. Let me show you what will save buyer's agent commission. Ready? All right. And by the way, doing this, okay, making yourself the greatest realtor on the buy side ever is like trying to put out a forest fire by pissing on it. Okay, theoretically that works. So theoretically, making yourself the greatest buyer's agent, so your buyers will pay you a commission. Theoretically, that's going to work. But let me ask you a quick question. These buyers have been taught since 1994 in the state of California and 1990 in other states, wherever you are, for probably decades, that your commission on the buy side is free. They get it for free. So now you're going to tell them that you're such a great buyer's agent that they're going to have to cough up $1 million for the house. Then outside of escrow or whenever, or in addition to it, they're going to have to cough up another $25,000 for you when they've been taught for decades that you're free. That's never going to happen. I don't care. I don't care if you descend from on high and walk on water. How many of your buyers will go, oh, that sounds fair. I'll go ahead and spend another $25,000 for your help when I've got Zillow, Opendoor, OfferPad, Realtor.com, and everybody else? Not happening. Here's how to save buyer's agency. Ready? This is going to shock you. And here's something you're never going to hear on YouTube or anywhere else. 99% of the stuff that Career Compass teaches, you'll never learn anywhere else. Our stuff is amazing, and it's only available here. Ask any Career Compass member, okay? So the $1.8 billion verdict out of Missouri. All right. Now, that's what happened. What happened within a couple days of that? Okay? Here's what happened. There was another lawsuit within 1 week. So on 1 week, you had the big three that you couldn't do. The next week, the $1.8 billion verdict. The next week, ready? This was last week. Mother of all commission suits filed in this case, Illinois, because now they have a precedent with the $1.8 billion $1.8 billion thing, don't they? Yeah, they do. The president. Mother of all commission suits filed in Illinois, this time by home buyers. Class action. Here we go. Here comes the first drop of the massive wave that's going to be hitting brokers. And why is this important? Here's why this is important. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. Lynn Hamilton, really? Lynn Hamilton, who manages 5,000 agents in West Virginia, just typed in Wellington. I hate to say it, but you're right. Yep, I am right. And so is she. Thank you, Lynn. Good to see you. Now, check this out. This is just the beginning. Every broker in the world needs to be worried, because now any lawyer with a laptop can fire it up and sue any broker anywhere for any amount, for any reason, if they participated in buyer's agency commission in the last 20 years. It's open season. I mean, pretend that you're Bambi's mother and they're hunters. That's what's going on right now. So let's talk about, what does this mean to you and to brokers? Well, all right, here's what it means. Should brokerages be worried? Yes, 100% yes. If you are a broker and you own a brokerage of any kind, and I'm not talking about just the big four, it doesn't matter. If you participate, they now have a precedent. If you participate in buyer's agency commissions the last 20 years, you are at risk 100%, because you can be sued by any lawyer. Now, there are some lawyers out there that just want a paycheck. Millions of them. There's more lawyers in the phone book than there was anything else when I was a kid. It was the biggest section of the phone book. It's worse now. So yes, if you are a broker, you need to be worried. Who gets sued? The broker does. Who owns the listing? The agent doesn't own the listing. The broker owns the listing entirely. That's who is getting sued. So with that being said, should agents be worried? Well, No question mark. No question mark. Because here's why. If you operate your business just like you have for years and years, you should be worried because customers are no longer going to respond to you the same way they did. And I'm explaining this in a minute. Okay. Some agents should, but some agents who learn the kind of things that Career Compass teaches, tools and techniques, again, the 7% technique, the EAT, the PAT, the lawyer letter, the deal a week technique, and all these things that most realtors will never learn, will not only survive this business, survive this market, and survive what's going on, but they're going to be multi-millionaires because they're going to set themselves so far apart from everybody else. It's going to be a joke. It's going to be like comparing a Rolls Royce to a mule. Be the Rolls Royce. Now, huge opportunity for anybody that knows how to do this. Let me go back to why you listing agents who know what you're doing are going to be the ones to save buyer's agency. Ready? Now, in the wake of all the lawsuits, and there's going to be hundreds, if not thousands of them, all private lawsuits, and nobody's immune. Nobody. No, not RE/MAX and not anywhere. They're immune to DOJ, not private lawsuits. That's the big deal. In the wake of all the lawsuits, consumers are going to be very angry at you because you made $60,000 in their mind, which is how much they make an entire year, and you made it in 2 days. So they're going to be very angry, confused, misinformed, jaded, and have no idea how the system even works anymore. So much for your every 90-day calls using the Ford method, family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. They're going to be like, you know what? I don't give a crap about your phone calls every 90 days. You've been ripping me off all these years. That's what you're going to have to answer. Now, there will be immense pressure on commission rates because of that, many agents will not only do fewer deals, but if all you know how to do is cut your commission, put a listing in the MLS, wait for it to sell, and collect a check, you should be worried. Now, let's go ahead and talk about this. Here's your answer. It will not only be the listing agent that saves let me say this slower, the listing agents will save buyer's agency. The listing agents that will save buyer's agents' commissions, but they will save the industry as a whole. And here's how. Only the listing agents that can show the seller how numerically, not, well, I've been calling you every 90 days and I'm a nice guy and we have a relationship. That's the most important thing in real estate, isn't it? No, it isn't. Not anymore. And Career Compass is the only training organization in the United States saying the truth. Your relationships are not valuable anymore, okay? At least not as much as they used to be. It's now secondary. You know what's valuable to the sellers now? Their equity. And can you show them numerically how you can put more money in their pocket than another agent? If you don't know the 7% technique, the answer to that is no, okay? Can you, as a listing agent, show numerically putting an optional commission on the buy side will put more money in the pocket of the seller by incentivizing buyer's agents to show the house on the market? So let me explain this to everybody. Ready? Okay. If you go in and you say, oh, don't worry about it, just give me 3% and I'll put it on the MLS and it'll sell. You are not only cutting the throat of the seller, you're cutting your own throat, you're cutting the throat of the industry. Because only the agents that show how putting a buyer side commission on the buy side in the MLS, increasing the amount of money the seller takes from the transaction will survive. Only them. Otherwise, we're going to have a one-sided transaction and Zillow's going to take it over. So let me talk about this again. Only the agents who can numerically show how putting a commission on the buy side increases the seller's take at the end of the transaction will survive. And they are who are going to save buyer's agency. What does that sound like? God, I don't know. Does that sound like the 7% technique? It absolutely does. This technique right here, along with the other 96 things that Career Compass teaches and our C4 program, is going to be the difference between survival and failure in this industry. Mark my words. The people in our C4 program and our seminar are going to go, thank God I've got this. The people who aren't in it are going to go, damn, I wish I had done that. That is going to happen. Absolutely. It's already happening. The last time we did this talk 2 days ago, Tony and Tasha Verovides from Sacramento were on the talk. Ready? He had to leave the talk early. He's already in C4 and been to Career Compass several times. He had to leave the talk early because he was on his way to a listing presentation for his, ready, in 3 years, 50th, look him up on Metro List, 50th, 7% listing, competing against agents, cutting the commission to 5 and 4, and he gets it every single time. This is a revolution. This puts more money in the seller's pocket. We will show you how. Okay? The 7% technique and others of the Career Compass technique will save real estate, but not for everyone, only the ones who know that. So let me talk a little bit about agents, shall we? Because many of you are hearing this. Oh, well, this will clean house. We have agents out there who are the very lofty agents, the Beverly Hills people, the Palm Beach, the Upper West Side agents, all these agents that are just really, really lofty because they've sold millions and millions of dollars in real estate, blah, blah, blah. And here's what they're saying. And this might be you, right? This shakeup in real estate will eliminate all the low quality, unprofessional, and uneducated realtors. Buffet, bring me a Perrier, I'm verklempt. Okay. Now, let me ask you a quick question. I know you all know guys like this and realtors like this. Let me ask you a quick question. If you think that, and that is your mentality, let me ask you a couple of things. Ready? If you are the educated, professional, high quality realtor, do you know the following things? Ready? Do you know, can you today, since I mentioned it first, I'll say it first, how the 7% technique works to get 7% listings, regardless, okay, of whether there's a rule in the MLS of putting a buyer's agent's commission or not? Can you do that? If the answer is no, that might be something you want to learn. Okay. Do you know this thing called the lawyer letter? There are 6 different things, 6 different hurdles you must get over to get your letter to the lawyer open, read, and responded to. There are 6 hurdles to get any lawyer, I don't care what kind of lawyer they are, okay, divorce or probate or this or that, okay, criminal defense, whatever it is, to call you every single time on speed dial on their phone, to call you every single time they have a client sitting in front of them that needs to buy, sell, rent, or lease. Every single time. There's a process to this. Many of you have tried this technique before, and the letter never got to the lawyer. Ready? Tony and Tasha Provitas, just as an example, since I was talking about them, this is how they've gotten most of their 7% listings, is that one right there. If you are not doing the lawyer letter, please let us teach you that. It will be worth, I'll show you a video in a minute. Robert Weichelt did the lawyer letter for one afternoon. He got 7 listings in the next 30 days. 7. Most people don't even do 7 listings in a whole year. Do you know how to get an HOA to literally turn around and endorse you in their area and tell every single one of their homeowners that if they're going to buy or sell a piece of property, they must use you? Do you know how to get an HOA to do that? I can show you how to do that in 5 minutes. That's a technique you must know. Do you know how to get into the senior market? Our C4 program and our Career Compass seminar has Jim Zers, the #1 trainer in the United States, teaching realtors how to get in the senior market. 81% of all real estate, 81% is owned by seniors. This is the biggest gold mine in the history of real estate by far. Do you know how to beat the eye buyers coming and going? Do you know things like the deal a week technique? What is the deal a week technique? Ready? It's 5 sides on one property inside 90 to 120 days. And it works like magic. It is magic. 5 transactions, not just double ending. No. 5 transactions on one property. Now, what else? Do you know? Let me ask you a question. All you realtors are just geniuses, and I know you're very, very good. Ask yourself a question. Okay, in your little box there, raise your hand if you know what a commission override clause is and where it goes in the notes. Okay, Keith does because he's been to our seminar. So, okay, do you know how to put a commission override clause in the notes section, additional comment section, or remark section of your contract, which is actually a bonus on your commission that the seller wants you to have? It's amazing. Oh, Nan Free knows everything. Yes, I do. She's in C4. There you go. Folks, you kind of see a trend here. The top producers know this stuff, and they learned it from Career Compass, and it's going to make all the difference in their career. Okay, most realtors who are like, oh, this is going to clean house, when I ask them just these 7 techniques out of 112 we teach, they're like, I don't know any of these. Well, maybe we aren't the professional, educated, awesome, high-quality realtors that we think we are. And I'm going to lobby you strongly, folks, to learn these things, because it's going to make the difference between your career in the future, especially now, more than ever. So, okay, so what I'm going to do, by the way, as far as questions go, we're going to get to questions at the end, so don't worry, you'll be able to ask all your questions, okay? So here's the bottom line, and then I want to tell you about your taxes, because if you're paying taxes, you're doing it wrong, guys. Don't go anywhere. The next 12 minutes of your life is going to save you $20,000 to $50,000 every single year on your taxes, and I'm not kidding, legally with no audit risk. We have thousands of people doing it already. I'll show you how to do that. Now, the bottom line is, regardless of which brokerage survive and which end up being sued out of business, the agent can survive, but will only be the agents that have advanced tools, techniques, systems, and processes to actually force them to be successful. It's not going to be about your relationships anymore. That has dropped to secondary. What's going to be more important is what you can do for that seller. And if you don't know some of the stuff that I've mentioned, you're not going to be able to do that. And it's so easy to learn this stuff and doesn't cost anything. I mean, why would you not want to do it? Okay. So how do I get this? Let me go ahead and explain this. Okay. let me go over traditional training, traditional coaching, traditional help, traditional mentoring. Most coaching is $1,000 a month. Okay, it's almost always done over the phone. There's no coach who's an expert in everything. There isn't it. At certain times, certain days, certain this, certain that. Okay, there's no reviewer recording on regular coaching, and they have contracts. So guess what? If you're in a coaching program with any of the big coaching programs, guess what you have to do? Sign a contract for $1,000 a month for 12 months. And when you want to get out of it in month 2, because it's all about door knocking, cold calling, and database management, which, by the way, I'm not saying are bad things, but that is the past. You must have advanced stuff. Absolutely. Okay. Now, here's how you do this. All right. Career Compass Concierge Connection. And let me show you this for 3 minutes. And then I'm going to show you exactly how to pay 0 taxes, which is part of this. Stick around. I guarantee this will be worth your time. The Career Compass Concierge Connection is the fastest growing real estate mentoring, success, and coaching program in the history of real estate. How does it work? It is 12 unique realtor benefits. So it's not just coaching. There's 12 different things that you get every single month that make all the difference in your career. Ask any of the hundreds of people that are on this call that are already in it. All right, number 1. At Career Compass, we don't have one great coach. We have 8 different coaches in different areas of real estate. So ready? There's your marketing guy. There's your lending guy. There's your social media girl. There's your tax guy. I'm going to talk about him in 2 minutes. Stick around. And there's your senior market there. And then yours truly. And I teach you how to kick the crap out of your competition. So every month via Zoom, right here on Zoom, live, not recorded. Resume. It's recorded so you can review it. But right here on Zoom, we have coaching for you 2 to 4 times every single month on different subjects, like the different tools and techniques I just showed you. It's amazing. And you can ask questions, stop the coach, go back, do whatever. And all of our sessions are recorded so you can review them anytime you want. It's brilliant stuff. But it doesn't stop there. Watch this.
Hey, good afternoon, Beef Wellington and the folks at Career Compass. This is Robert Weichelt with EXP out of San Diego. I want to touch base a little bit on the lawyer letter. I sent out over 100 lawyer letters. I've already received 7 listings from 3 different attorneys. Thank you, C4 Coaching.
That's one technique. One technique out of 112. He got 7 listings. Unbelievable. So that happens every month. You also get something called Learning with Legends. What's Learning with Legends? Learning with Legends is some of the greatest realtors of all time brought in live to show you how they were so successful. Let me give you an example. Sorry, we're kind of small here. That's Tom Days right there. Just talked to him yesterday. Tom Days is the number 8 realtor of all time in the state of California. All time. He's done, ready for this, 6,700 transactions. We have legends from every state in the United States. It's amazing stuff. So not only do you get coached by our trainers, you get coached by these legends who have done thousands of transactions. So that happens every single month live via Zoom, no matter where you are. I don't care if you're in Georgia or Utah, anywhere else, live Zoom right here on C4. Now, you also get a yearly tune-up of your business every single year to make sure you're going in the right direction. You also get one-on-one coaching with any of our master trainers. You can call up and make an appointment on any subject with any master trainer anytime you want, unlimited, and have a one-on-one coaching to your satisfaction, no charge of any kind. How cool is that, right? We have the video library of every one of our sessions and every one of our tools and techniques. That is invaluable. Next, we have this thing called Listing Booster, which puts your listings on television. We'll talk about that in a little bit later. You get, if you ever go to one of our events, you get reserved seating along with our C4 reception. Now, these things get real. Watch this. Let me ask you a quick question. If I put in realtor in your city, let's say we're going to go with Tulsa, Oklahoma. If I put in Tulsa, Oklahoma realtor, if you're a realtor in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where do you come up on that Google search? Maybe page 10. See this? This will improve where you end up and where you appear on Google searches. Let me say this again. Ready? This right here is a complete page of your business on our website, the Career Compass, that anybody can refer from, can go to, and it has 9 different links, all linking back to you. What does that do to your metadata? It increases it every single year. People pay $1,000 a month for this, and you get that with C4 free. It's amazing. Now, if you are in the state of California and you need your DRE license renewed, we have an affiliate that does that for you as included. So don't go do the car course. If you're in another state, please contact us. We may have one for you as well. But that's for the state of California. Let's talk about this. See this? This is a DRE audit letter. Every single state has them and every single DRE has them. This is basically their attempt to get you to trip up and they can rescind your license. Do not respond to these. Take a picture of it. Tell your broker. You send it to C4, to Career Compass. We respond for you on behalf of you to the Department of Real Estate. And if that doesn't satisfy it, okay, we will refer you to our lawyers who are experts at this kind of stuff. So that's like license protection right there. Now, this last thing has to do with your taxes. If you are still on this call, the next 3 minutes are going to be the most profitable 3 minutes in your entire life right here. This right here is the Kanoki Group. It is the #1 tax, IRS, and state tax preparation service in the United States. #1 in every single state. This is Bill Kanoki himself. This is the man who teaches the teachers. This is the greatest tax person in the United States, #1 tax preparer in the United States that does taxes only for realtors. There's nobody above him. This is the only person and only companies that should ever be. See, they're NAN free. I don't pay taxes. I want everybody to see that comment right there. NAN free, because she's in our C4 and he does his taxes. I pay no taxes, and her volume is huge. We're talking high 6 figures. Pays no taxes legally. There's somebody on this call proving it right there. This is you should be doing your taxes. Let me show you what's going on. Is there a new classification of taxes? Yes. If you are a realtor, if you are an LLC, sole proprietor, Schedule C, independent, joint, married, etc., if you are any of these things, you are paying the highest taxes known to the tax code and the highest risk of an audit right there. What should you be? You should have two things. If you want to reduce your taxes to zero, and we have hundreds, if not thousands of members who can show you exactly their tax return. I'm about to show you one. Watch this. You should be a Subchapter S corporation, Subchapter S corporation. And you qualify for that because you have a specialized license. Let me go back to Bill Kanoki. You should be a Subchapter S corporation, and this man right here, regardless of what state you're in, should be doing your taxes 100%. It's literally, you'll be paying 90. Look at that. There's Gary. Gary Beck goes, Bill's the best. There's hundreds of people that know this already, okay? This man, one, you're a Subchapter S corporation. Number two, this man and his team does your taxes. You will pay the lowest taxes known in the universe. Let me give you an example. This is Derek Long. There's his phone number. He's a realtor in Marietta. And I can show you thousands of these returns. Watch this. 2020, filing as an LLC or sole proprietor. He made $91,000 GCI. Not bad. Okay? His tax preparer as a sole proprietor, his old tax preparer said, you owe $12,600. He goes, that's not bad. That's only 14%. Most of you are paying 19 to 26%. However, the next year, he was in our C4 program. Ready? He made $112,500, 20 grand more than this year, 20 grand more. But he had Bill Kanoki do his taxes as a Subchapter S corporation. Yes, Kanoki will file you as a Subchapter S corporation, take care of all the paperwork. Everything's done right there with that guy. He does everything. And he doesn't charge any more than your regular tax preparer, other than the fact that you pay 95% less taxes. And that's a fact. All right, ready for this? First year, 112, 20 grand more. Derek Long's taxes were a refund of $2,500. I'm gonna let that sink in. That's what your taxes should look like. Here's what you're probably thinking. Wellington, he's gonna get audited here and not here. Wrong, other way around. This green box as a Subchapter S corporation has the lowest chance of an audit in the entire IRS system. This one has the highest. What you pay in taxes has nothing to do with your risk of an audit. How you file has everything to do. Once again, Bill Kanoki should be filing your taxes, and you should be doing it as a Subchapter S corporation. Why am I saying this in this talk? Here's why. Because you're in this talk, I'm hoping that you're going to learn tools and techniques that absolutely make you explode your business, and you're going to need these taxes. They go hand in hand. Let me give you another example. By the way, there's a text from Derek. Yep, absolutely, Wellington. That is an accurate statement. He just finished my taxes again. He blew my mind. I can't tell Bill's people are wizards. There you go. Now, this right here is what your taxes should look like, okay? If you're a real estate professional, let me give you an example, okay? William P. became a real estate professional in 2008, okay? Here's the year, GCI, what he paid to the state, whatever state it is, in this state is California, what he paid to the Fed and the percentage, 18%. Look familiar? 2008, 86,000, 4,600 to the state, 11 to the Fed, okay, 18%. Look familiar? It sure does, because that's what you're paying. And you shouldn't be. You absolutely should not be paying that. The next year, 2009, 19%, 2010, and 2011. See all these red numbers? None of these needed to be paid to the IRS, and you're paying them. 17 and 19% is what everybody in this call is paying. Now, check this out. In 2012, the Kanoki Group and the Career Compass merged into one company. Yes, you have to be a Career Compass member to get to the Kanoki Group. If you called the Kanoki Group, said, I'm a realtor and I live in Wyoming and I like my taxes done, they will say, are you a Career Compass member? I'm not. And they'll hang up on you. If you're a Career Compass member, you go right to the top and they'll take you as a client. How cool is that? That's awesome. So in 2012 was the first year this guy had the ability to have Bill Kanoki do his taxes on a higher volume. 800 to the state, 0 to the Fed for 0.5%. That's what your taxes should look like right there. Why 800? In the state of California, that's the minimum amount of corporate tax you can pay. In Delaware, it's 750. In Arizona, I think it's 600. In Nevada, it's like $500, something like that. So every single year, your taxes should be 0 to the Fed, 800 to the state. Now, watch this. He's getting really close to $250,000. That's the dividing line that the government thinks rich people and poor people are divided behind. So check this out. 2015, he goes over $250,000 GCI. He starts paying again, but look at the rate, 5%, not 17 to 19. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, are what your taxes should look like as a real estate professional for the rest of your life. Period. Number one, become a subchapter S corporation. Bill Kanoki will do that for you. Number two, have Kanoki file your taxes. You are now in the green, and we guarantee it. Guarantee it. So, with that being said, let's kind of go over this. Here are all the benefits of C4. All the benefits. 12 unique benefits. Even if you, ready for this? Even if you didn't do anything and you just had your taxes filed by Bill, it would put money in your pocket. Watch this. Is it $1,000 a month? Not a chance. Okay, check this out. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Berkshire Hathaway signed up for C4. Way to go. We'll get it right to you. Okay, $300 to $500 for group coaching. I want everybody to see this. Put your phone down. Focus on this. This is your career. This is the rest of your life right here. Watch this. The C4 program through Career Compass, all of these benefits, including having Bill Kanoki do your taxes, $19 a month. Not 19,000, which it should be. Not 1,900. Nope, 19. Ready? You're probably thinking, well, Wellington, how can it be so good? How can it be that good if it's so cheap? Try us. See these two words right down here? No contract. There's no contract. You could try it for a month, and if you don't like it, you're out. What'd you lose? $19. It's a trip to McDonald's. So I want you to focus on something. Ready? Remember the Robert Weichelt? He from one session, just one session last year from C4, he got 7 listings. Those 7 listings just paid for his C4 program for 420 years. And by the way, even if you didn't get any of that, which you will, just the tax reduction in this pays for that every single year. There's not one single realtor on this call that should not be in C4. We're paying you to be in it. We guarantee it will put more money in your pocket by hundreds of times than it ever costs. We guarantee that. So every single realtor, if you are not in C4, you're basically saying, nope, I want to pay more money. I want to pay more because our program literally puts money in your pocket by hundreds of times over what it costs every time, guaranteed every year. It's the biggest no-brainer of all time. Now, 2 ways to get signed up. You can scan that QR code, or if you're already on your phone, you can go to thecareercompass.com. And I want to stress something. At $19 a month, guys, $19. Let's say it doesn't work for you. You've lost $19, and we'll guarantee it, so don't worry about that. But what if it does work for you, like it has for thousands? People on this very call it's working for. What more do you need? If it does work for you, what did it just do to your career? It just saved your career and made you a millionaire. Can you honestly forego $19, save $19 to forego the chance of being a millionaire and save your career? Thecareercompass.com. There's a big button right in the middle that says C4, or you can scan that code, that QR code right there. No contract. Try it out. What do you have to lose? It's a trip to McDonald's. You're gonna invest $19. Folks, you don't have a job. You have a business that takes investment, that takes commitment, that takes money to be put into you and your brain. Sadly, most people spend more money on their car every month than they do in the knowledge that pays for the car. It's amazing in real estate. We'll buy, fancy pictures for our business cards and suits and cars and houses to impress everybody, but we'll do nothing to increase what's between these 2 ears. It's amazing to me. $19 a month, and you get Career Compass Concierge Connection, the greatest coaching in the history of the world, plus Bill Kanoki's tax prep, which pays for that every single year 100 times over, and that's a guarantee. There's no way to lose money at C4. You will either gain money or you won't be in it. One of the two. That's all there is. I hate to use the word there's no risk, but there literally is no risk. So right up in the chat box, you can click there. You can scan that. You can go to thecareercompass.com, the Career Compass, 3 words, thecareercompass.com. Now, I'm going to leave this up so people can scan it. Okay, but I also want to stop here and I want to answer questions because we've had a lot of questions in the chat box. I want to answer questions. If you have a question, please put it in the chat box or just unmute yourself. I'm going to go have Donna at our office here read some of the questions, and I'm going to leave this up so you can scan it. Literally, folks, you are a realtor. Stay in the business and make some money. This is the real deal. and we guarantee every single dime of that tiny little $19. Go Donna.
Okay, and if anybody has a question, go ahead and throw it back in the chat in case, because there was a lot of questions that I think Beef answered as the program went on. So I want to make sure that I get your questions answered, but I think a lot of them are already answered. As far as a recorded copy of the Zoom, we're not sending it to everyone, but we are sending it to our editors, and probably in a week we will have something on the Career Compass website. And it will be under the blog. So we'll send out an email when that's available.
I want to insert here. Here's what we're doing, okay? And hate to throw this on you, okay? If you are in C4 or you're a Career Compass member, we will get this to you as soon as it's ready. No problem. We'll make that commitment to you. If you want this replayed, you got it. You are here, and I love you for being here. Thank you very much. For any Career Compass member and any C4 member, either one already or one in the future, right now, sign up for C4. We will make sure you get this talk and every other one that we've ever done, including all the rest, 7% technique, and every training thing there ever was. So please go ahead and do that.
Can you please explain the difference between being a Career Compass member and a C4 member?
Okay, fantastic. We have two things. Career Compass means you have paid a one-time fee to go to our live seminars, and those happen in only California and Las Vegas right now. So if you're in some other state, sorry about that. You can certainly come in. We'd be happy to help you. So Career Compass member means you have paid a one-time fee of $195 to go to our seminar for free, for life, forever, and it's license renewal through our third-party affiliate company. The amazing training you just saw, as well as open bar, networking. You get to come back for free for life. We do 6 to 8 of them every single year. It's an amazing experience. #1 seminar in the state of California. 35,000 people are Career Compass members. If 35,000 people say it's great, it's great. That's a Career Compass member. It's a one-time fee to go to our seminar, and you get to come back for free for life. That's Career Compass, okay? C4 is our Zoom-based monthly coaching for the $19. That is ongoing, monthly, $19, tiny little fee, Zoom-based coaching, all the benefits I just mentioned, all 12 of those benefits, and the ability to have your taxes done by Bill Kanoki. That is C4, okay? So we have two things. We have our live seminars here in the state of California, and we have C4. Now, do most people sign up for both? They do. If you're in California, please sign up for both. Best money you'll ever spend in your life, I promise. If you are not in the state of California, we'd love to have you come to one of our seminars. But if you can't make it to one of our seminars, please do C4. The same training, the same trainers, the same coaches, the same benefits, everything, but it comes straight to you via Zoom and other things.
Beef, Keith asked, you wonder if the brokerages will cross-claim against the broker on the other side of every transaction. Do you think there's going to be no infighting?
No. Okay. They can't, because here's the thing. They're culpable. Okay. If doing that is just going to bring another brokerage into the lawsuit, and the lawyers are going to sue them too. So they're assuming ABC brokerage, and ABC brokerage is now going to make XYZ brokerage the bad guy. Well, if I'm a lawyer, fine. I'm going to go ahead and file against XYZ brokerage as well. Because here's the thing. If you participated in buyer's agency, you got paid. You're now culpable. If you participated in listing agency, you put the commission in the MLS. You're culpable. I don't see any brokerage cutting the throat of another brokerage. If they do, that's just, you know what? If we do that, if that happens in this industry, we deserve to go out of business, because that's just stupid. So There you go.
When have all the checks, the changes to the buyer agencies and stuff like that, how soon are they going to see them roll out? How much?
It depends.
How severe?
Okay, how severe? We don't know. Depends on the lawsuits. Okay, in some states, it'll just over time, it'll be the rule that you have to put a commission in the MLS on the buy side will go away. Some states will go crazy and say there's no such thing as buyer's agency. You're going to have to offer a finder's fee outside of the listing and outside the escrow and outside the closing just to get buyer's agencies to come in. In some cases, it's going to be half and half. Like they'll offer 1% buyer's agency fee or finder's fee, and then the buyer's agency is going to have to go to actually the buyer and get the rest of it. It's going to be a mix of everything, and it's going to be a mix in every different state. Every different state has its own board. Every state has its own Department of Real Estate. Every state has its own MLS systems. It is going to be a mess for a long, long, long time. What you can do to basically float above the fray that this is going to create, and it's going to be a mess, is to become the best listing agent you can, the best agent with tools and techniques that nobody else knows, because now you're immune. It doesn't matter what brokerage you're at. The brokerages should be afraid, and I'm sorry to say that, because we partner with everybody. but they have a target on their back right now, and any lawyer anywhere can fire up his laptop and sue anybody for any amount, period, in the story. So we don't know.
Okay. Can you also clarify with the access to Bill Kanoki? Because I think you made a little bit of a statement. You said that Career Compass members get access to Bill
Okay,
Kanoki,
sorry.
and it's
Here's how it
C4.
works. If you're a Career Compass member, Bill is one of the main speakers at our seminar. You will hear him speak. He will show you how to do the taxes correctly. You get all the knowledge. You'll be sitting there. Okay. That's if you go to one of our Career Compass seminars, you'll hear Bill speak and you'll learn the great stuff. If you would actually like to have Bill file your taxes, meaning actually prepare your taxes so you pay zero, you need to be in C4, the 19 bucks. He has made that rule. That wasn't our rule. It was Bill Kanoki's. And here's his comment. Okay. He has 3,000 people waiting for him on a waiting list. Okay. He doesn't need any more clients. Here's what he said. I will open up tax preparation to any Career Compass C4 member. Because if 19 bucks is too much for you to spend, I don't want you as a client. And I mean, honestly, he makes a point. So if you're in C4, Bill Kanoki will take you. You'll go to the top of the list of the waiting list. Bill will take you as a client, and he will prepare your taxes if you are in C4. Okay. If you are just coming to our seminar as a regular Career Compass member, you'll get to see him, meet him, hear him what he talks. But to actually have him do tax prep for you, create your S corporation, you must be in C4. That's his rule.
Hey,
Now,
Beef,
and
can
just
I-
to let
can I
you guys
chime-
know, to
can I chime
clarify
in?
that, I'm sorry, hold on,
go ahead.
hold on 1 second, guys. I just want to clarify that too, just to let you guys know, because sometimes there is confusion. The $19 a month does not include the fees to have your taxes done. It just gets the access. So don't call the office and go, well, I pay $19, file my taxes now. It is
Okay.
the consultation to get in there.
Okay. Can I interject? Okay. Hold on. Not the consultation, anything like that. Okay. You're in C4. That's a club. Okay. This is our coaching club. It's our success club. It's C4. It's 19 bucks a month. If you're in that C4, or if you are in the C4, Bill Kanoki will do your taxes, and he charges to do your taxes the same amount as everybody else. We've checked it out many, many times. So whatever you're paying your current tax preparer, that's about the same that Bill Kanoki will charge you. So you're already paying that already. You'll just be paying it to Bill Kanoki instead of your current tax preparer, and Bill Kanoki will save you 95% of your taxes. So I want to be very, very clear. He only takes clients from C4. That's all he does. Okay. Those clients can hire him to do their taxes, and guys, it's worth every dime. I mean,
10
you're
times
already
over.
paying to have your taxes done already. That's sunk cost. So for that amount, you're now going to be able to have zero taxes by Bill Kanoki. There's no decision making on this. Okay. I mean, Bill only takes clients from people who are in C4. That's his rule. He is part of Career Compass. We merged. There you go.
Okay. And Antoine, I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself right before I have you answer the question. Let me just address a couple people real quick. If you are asking in the chat about your personal account, we don't have the capabilities to answer personal account, like check on your membership or anything for you. Please email support@thecareercompass.com. We're more than happy to do that. But here in this kind of open forum, it's really hard for us to address one-on-one questions. Antoine, go for it.
Okay,
hold
cool.
on,
Yeah.
hold on, Antoine, hold on.
Yep.
Go to if you're a member, go to thecareercompass.com, and you can contact us, email us, maybe check on your membership, all this stuff. The next seminar is Pachanga coming up in December 6th and 7th. You should be going to it. Every single person, if you can get to that, go to it. Okay. And right there on the website, you can also sign up for C4 on the website, or you can scan this. Antoine, you're up.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I saw Beef in Sacramento when he came to SAR. So I didn't receive anything, so I checked my spam. I actually have my introductory email. I've never logged in. So it says the Compass benefits comes with RSVP for seminars, online platform crush sheets, the lawyer letter, and frequently asked questions. I can't access any of that now. So
Okay,
I did send you guys a support letter, support email as well.
Yeah, we'll get back to you as soon as we can. We'll take a look on it. Like I said, personal one-on-one kind of things. It's hard for us to do that in a Zoom since we had over 275 people on the call. So it's really hard to address it. If you have an email in there, give it. We, on average, just to let you guys know, I know I'm whining, but we receive about 325 emails per day. So we go through them as quickly as we can, and we will address that. Don't worry, hang tight. We'll get to you. We promise.
Hey, look at that. Mike Crawford's on the call. Hey, Mike, I saw your car the other day. The tan car, the tan thing, the license plate. Good to see you, Mike. Anyway.
All right, Beef,
Hey,
real quick. Can you answer?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too, bud.
Okay, let's rein it in, my loves. Beef, can you address about how they should be going about paying their dues? Should they be paying NAR? Should they be paying CAR?
Okay.
Should they be paying their locals?
Okay, ready? Go to your broker. Sit down with your manager, your broker, your owner, and discuss this issue. Okay, that's the most important thing. Unless you're planning on changing brokerages, and you need to hit them right between the eyes, because boy, they're going to be listing now like they never have. Mr. and Mrs. Broker, Mr. and Mrs. Owner, okay, what are we going to do about NAR, CAR, and the local board, and get their opinion of whether they want to retract and just keep MLS access, whether they want to stay, whether they think you should stay. It's going to be a personal opinion. It's going to be a personal thing for everybody. If you want to leave NAR, CAR, or your local board, your local state board, if you're not in California, or your immediate board, you can do that now. Department of Justice just said you can do that. There are a little bit of there's some stickiness to it a little bit, because some states, they combine MLS access with board membership, which I think is completely illegal and wrong, but they don't do that in California. It could be separate. Okay. So in your state, you need to go to your broker and sit down and have a conversation about this and decide what you are going to do it. Yes, Clark, does Career Compass still do license renewal? Our third-party affiliate company absolutely does. You come to our seminar, if you're in Career Compass, we'll absolutely get you hooked up with our program, and you will be able to renew your license through our third-party affiliate company, just like you have for many, many years. Absolutely. By the way, Clark, I didn't put it up here. I should have put it up here because we have so many people in California. The Pechanga seminar in Temecula, California is coming up on December 6th and 7th. If you can get there by any means, I don't care if you're in Northern California, in Oregon or Montana or Illinois or Michigan, I don't care where you are. If you can get to Pechanga Resort and Casino in Temecula on December 6th and 7th, please do so. Please do so. It will change your career. If you can't,
okay,
we'll see you on C4.
I'll be there.
Perfect. We look forward to seeing you. And then for anybody that wants to get in contact with Bill Kanoki, because he only does allow C4s. Once you sign up for C4, there's a form on the C4 website that requests a one-on-one. When you fill out that form requesting to Bill Kanoki, it VIPs you up there. It literally is a link to both our office and his support office. So that's the only way to get through there. If you contact them directly, they're going to come right back to us, and they're going to kick you back to us.
Okay. I want to clarify that, guys. Step number one, sign up for C4. If this doesn't make sense to you guys, if this program that's guaranteed to put money in your pocket every single year, if this program doesn't make sense to you, maybe that's an indication that you're one of the realtors that should be getting out of this business. This is the savior of this business right here. This is going to save people. So step number one, sign up for C4. My God, how can you not? Step number two, right through the C4 website, which you will have full access to, you'll be able to click a button and contact Bill Kanoki. His office will call you, and you're off and running. That's all you have to do. Step one, get into C4. It's going to save your career. Step two, contact Bill Kanoki, pay no taxes. There you go, guys. There is not a program anywhere in the United States, nowhere, that is as good as this right here.
Beef, do you see buyers lowering their purchase price? They pay their agent because comps included sellers paid commissions via sellers commissions.
Okay, whoa.
Well, basically, I know it was kind of a redundant way of saying it. Are buyers going to be lowering their prices because the comps included selling commissions? So are they going to reduce
lowering
it?
their prices? Wait, hold on. Buyers lowering their prices?
Well, they said, do you see buyers lowering? Do you see buyers lowering their purchase price? Because comps included seller paid commissions via sellers commissions.
Okay, I mentioned that. Is it going to happen? In some states it will, in some states it won't. Our offers on houses automatically going to go down by 2.5% to 3% because now you don't have a buyer's agent commission, but you're going to have a buyer's agent commission. Every good listing agent out there that has even a lick of sense is going to put a commission on the buy side to drive buyer's agents to the house. So I don't see that happening. Only in crazy places where listing agents are cutting their own throats, because if they're a listing agent today, they're going to be a buyer's agent tomorrow, okay? And saying, oh no, don't put a commission on the buying side. There's no such thing as buyer's agents anymore. That is the worst thing anybody on this call could possibly say. You are now cutting out 50% of all the income in the entire industry. Don't say that. Do what you should be doing, which is learn how to explain to the seller numerically how it's in their financial interest to put a a buying side commission on the buy side, whether it's required or not, and it's not going to be required anymore, but it's still in the interest of the seller. Please, folks, please. Okay. Ask Lynn Hamilton. She knows this for 20 years. Okay. I mean, Lynn, go ahead and unmute yourself. Lynn, okay. You're in West Virginia. You manage 5,000 agents. Lynn,
Correct.
Should agents know things like the 7% technique to put themselves head and shoulders above other agents?
Can I say yes or can I say hell yes?
You can say anything you want.
Hell yes. So here's the bottom line takeaway for everybody. And again, I've got over 5,000 agents that I oversee that have a footprint in 4 different states, including the state of confusion. So with that, this ain't over until it's over. It's still under appeal. What agents need to do is keep their finger to the ground and, not listen to all the opinions that are popping up on YouTube and everything else. Go to Compass, get involved in the extra training, master your skills, master your skill set, know how to do a buyer consultation and a seller consultation that blows them away. Know how to explain the options on compensation, not commission. Y'all need to take the word commission out of your vocabulary, because you're negotiating the compensation to the brokerage. The commission is what you negotiate with your brokerage. 2 different things. Get your terminology correct, okay? So the compensation that you are negotiating with the buyer or the seller needs to be to perfection. That will keep everyone out of hot water. A lot of states had the ruling already, but agents got lazy, sloppy, because the industry was like, stuff was falling out of the sky. So now agents have to actually master their craft, learn their skills. And the Career Compass, those seminars, not only are they a hoot and a fun, but are going to teach you what you need to know to implement to watch your business grow. Remember when the market crashed way back when? Nobody ever told me why, because I had gone to the Career Compass, to the seminar, the first one in Vegas, if you remember correctly, and polished up my skills, implemented them, and I cried all the way to the bank.
There you go. And I want to
So,
make one
there you
more
have it.
clarification. Yeah, and Lynn said it twice. She said the Career Compass. Everyone's like, say, oh, Compass. Guys, Compass Brokerage, that's a whole other thing, not affiliated with us anyway. The Career
Compass. Yeah.
The Career.
Yeah.
And by the way, for those of you who like our Lynn Hamilton, boy, we love that lady, don't we? She is actually going to be a guest speaker, hopefully at the Tustin seminar in February, if we can get her out here. I wanted her to come in December, but she's busy. She's an in-demand lady. So that lady right down there, if you see her right there, she's going to be part of Career Compass. We're going to go out to West Virginia and have some whiskey with her, and it's going to be great. So for those of you who are in C4 and at our Career Compass seminars, you're going to see some more Lynn Hamilton, because we're going to have her on C4. We're going to have her at our seminars. She's a wealth of knowledge, and we love her dearly. We've known her for going on 15 years. All right, more questions.
A quick closing comment, and then I'll let you go. The forms are already, I got to see them the other day. Don't tell that I've got access to them, but the forms at the various states are trickling down. All states across the country are working on them right now. The initial review of them have been approved by most states. They will be released within the next 2 weeks, hitting December 1st to go into full impact on January 1st. Can I share the buzz statement that's going with them?
Sure.
Okay. The buzz takeaway, what is being included in there is broker compensation and the sharing of compensation between brokerages are fully negotiable and are not fixed, controlled, recommended, or suggested by law or any multiple listing service or association of realtors.
Okay.
That is what the new language is going to be. And again, agents, more than ever before, you need to master your skills, master your craft, know what to say, know what not to say. Do not ever say it's paid by the seller side. I work for you for free. And never put in a buyer broker agreement per MLS unless you plan on working for free. Because those brokerages that are getting sued, a few, not many, but a few are starting to put 0. But again, I don't think that I don't think that's going to be the norm. So master your skills, go to the Career Compass, go to the seminars, not once, but twice, 3 times is good. And yes, Wellington will put the announcement out when I show up, and I hope to see you all there. So
yeah, guys,
Thank you.
we're trying to get Lynn Hamilton there for Tustin. So go on our website and just RSVP for Tustin, because it's going to sell out, because we're going to have Lynn and some other unbelievably great people there, because she's awesome. Okay.
Beef, real quick.
yeah.
Real quick. Can you answer, somebody had a question about accessing forms. I know Lynn just talked about how they're changing and they're being updated, but if you dump CAR, NAR, your local board, whatever, what are your options for getting these forms?
Okay, good question. And I'll have Lynn weigh in as well. Folks, here's the deal. Okay, yes, CAR, NAR, whatever board you're at, they all have their forms. We've been trained as realtors to think that the only forms we can use are the board forms. That's not true at all. There's probably 20 different types of forms out there you could use. Let me give you an example. The First Tuesday forms, we have a complete library of those. Okay, there's the state bar forms. Okay, we got RPAs, listing contracts. There's 260 different forms, like just the Career Compass, and we're trying to work them in to C4. There's a little hint for you, for those people who get into it. Okay, we are going to have a portfolio and a library of forms that you can use that are fully docu-signable and fully auto-fillable. So in the future, we may have a situation where agencies are not always using the forms from the board. I mean, Zillow hasn't ever used those. Okay, neither has Redfin, neither has Open Door and OfferPad. All these other ones, okay, they're not even using the official forms, because there is no official forms. You ask any transaction coordinator out there, they will say, I don't care what the information is written on. Again, a napkin, any form is legal. You will never ever, after this ruling, get a pushback from a listing brokerage saying, "Oh, we're not going to accept your offer because it's not on a board form." You'll never hear that again, because that's going to be a big no-no, and they can be fined for that and sued for that, because that is collusion. Okay, that's flat out collusion right there. So divorce yourself from the forms you've always used. There's other forms out there. You will have them at your fingertips. You will see other options when it comes to forms. C4 will have an option for you if you need one. There you go. Lynn, go.
I would also say, talk to your brokerage. Talk to your brokerage. Again, they're up to their eyeballs in attorneys right now. They're being told what they can and can't say. Rely on a good brokerage to give you the proper guidance as we maneuver through. I'm going to call it the gray area, because they say this ain't over until the fat lady sings, and she ain't even warming up yet. So we still have 2 to 5 years of litigation ahead of us, but we want to make sure that agents are not stepping in the what and making it worse on themselves. So check with your broker, check what they want you to do as well, and then make your decisions from there. But
I want to say something about the appeals. Yes, everybody's like, "Oh, nothing's going to happen because there's going to be appeals." There is going to be appeals, but let me explain how appeals work with the Department of Justice. When you have a lawsuit from a federal court, okay, or a state court, if you want to appeal it, you have to put up a bond. You know what a bond is? A bond is basically an insurance policy against your future losses. So this is not like, oh, they're going to appeal it, so no one's going to pay anything. They're going to pay.
No.
People,
Yeah,
they are going to pay. Brokerages are going to pay. Okay, brokerages are going to have lawsuits and say, okay, we'll sue you for $1 million, but I'll settle for 80,000. They're going to get 10 of those and be out of business. That's exactly what's going to be happening here. So just because people tell you there's going to be appeals doesn't mean that's just, oh, this whole thing is going to go away. It is.
Yeah, no, there's going to be changes. There's going to be changes. Get prepared, master your skills, master your craft, know what to say, what not to say.
Right.
Okay, guys, real quick, both of you guys, let's get your opinion on how's this going to affect dual agency when somebody's doing both sides of it. Are they going to, one person said better deal, less commission if you go with me and I'll double side it. What are you guys seeing on that? How do you think that's going to impact everything?
Well, my 2 cents on that is there are some brokerages that do not allow their agents to do dual agency and double in transactions, because it is the #1 reason that agents get sued, because the client will look at you and wonder whose best interest you really had, their side, the other side, or your own. So again, you've got to go back to what state you're in, including the state of confusion, find out what that state regulations are. Some states don't allow it. Some brokerages don't allow it. And it's going to be a business decision that you need to make. Now, when I started in California, yes, we were allowed to do it. Yes, the brokerage I was with allowed us to do it. I made a business decision early on, personally, that I would not double into transaction because most of my clients became repeat and referral. I would tell them during the consultation, I never want you to look at me and wonder whose best interests I had, because in your eyes, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, you're thinking, I've got my own best interest at heart because I'm double ending both sides, because I can go argue with another agent on your behalf. And whether it's right or wrong, that was the opinion and the assumption of many clients. So, but again, here, Virginia is a buyer beware state. I put it up in the notes. There's a few other states that are also the buyer beware states, and the buyers have to be represented. So, because here in Virginia, sellers don't have to disclose a whole heck of a lot. California, you got to disclose every friggin' thing. So
yeah, I agree with all of that. And I'm going to kind of hold back on any kind of definitive answer on dual agency, because one, we have people from every state in the country on our C4, and every state does it differently. Number one. Number two, not only is it by state, it can be by brokerage. So even in states like California, where they allow dual agency, there can be a situation where some brokerages don't allow that. So how is it going to affect? It's going to affect everything, but I'm going to leave it right there because it's going to be a lot of changes. I think dual agency is simply going to be another name for I'm listing your house and there's no buyer's agent. I mean, how is that any different? So I'm going to go ahead and leave that right there. We'll see what's going to happen with dual agency. That might be, in many states, dual agency might be a casualty of the Department of Justice lawsuits.
One last question, and then I think we need to wrap it up. Beef, can you explain about how to access the MLS platform if you're not a member of your board?
Okay. No, I can't, because here's why. That's your broker. That's your broker's responsibility, your board's responsibility, and the MLS's responsibility. Okay. I would start with your broker and the MLS. The MLS is an independent thing. In most states, again, it varies. But in the state of California, it's an independent thing. You pay dues for your subscription at the MLS. You pay dues to the board. All right. So the board is basically going to tell you, no, you can't access it without us. That's bull. All right. So the first two things you're going to do is you're going to go to your broker and have, again, step number one, go to your broker, have the conversation about whether staying with the board or not. That's first off. Number two, if you're not going to stay with the board, then you have to have the conversation of how to remove yourself from the board, but not from the MLS. And by the way, just so you'll know, yes, NAR is going to get sued. Every single state board is going to get sued. They already are. Every single local board is going to get sued. That's already happening. Okay. All the big brokerages are going to get sued. The small brokers are going to get sued. But guess what? Guess who else is going to get sued? The MLS. The multiple listing service is a company. Okay. It's going to get sued too, because they're the ones storing the data. That's culpability. There's a real chance, ladies and gentlemen, there's a real chance that we will not have NAR, the state boards, the local boards, or the MLS. It may go back to the wild, wild west, where basically you take a listing and you're your own MLS within your brokerage. So in other words, if you're a Keller Williams, you have to go to kellerwilliams.com to see a listing that's been listed by a Keller Williams agent. That may happen. The MLS has a big target on their back too. Now I'm preparing you for worst case scenario, because there's an old saying, prepare for the West, prepare for the best, prepare for the worst, and hope for the best. Okay, that's what you need to do. All right. So this might be crazy, folks.
Didn't you tell me too that the MLS did require that you put something in the buyer's commission port? You could not let that be blank.
Okay, that's the whole issue right here. That's the entire kit and caboodle. Without that rule, this whole lawsuit would have never come up. Because right now, in every MLS system in the country, you have to put something in the buyer's side of the listing. Whether it be $1, you have to put something. That's collusion. That's what they're saying is collusion. That's what Ryan Gorman basically said we will get rid of if you just get rid of this case, because that's what would do it. That rule is going to be the first thing that's removed from the MLS systems countrywide. Is you now don't have to put anything in the buying side, but you should, and it should be 4% on the buy side with the 7% technique, driving the price up, increasing equity, increasing the economy, helping the seller, and being what you should be doing as a realtor instead of lowering your commissions just because it's all the same. Don't do that. Okay. Learn the 7% technique. That's what it's going to be about. Screw the fact that you have to put an MLS listing. You should be able to, as a realtor, you should have the skills to convince and show the seller how it's in their best interest to have a commission on the buy side, whether it's a rule or not.
Correct.
All right.
Correct. And some MLSs now have changed it. I know out here on the West Coast or the East Coast. What coast am I on? The East Coast. MLSs have changed. So you can now put 0 in, but you cannot search by the commission
Right.
field. They've taken that out. So
Right. Okay, if there's any other questions, we went long today, guys. I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
If you are still debating signing up for C4 for $19, especially when you've seen agents who've gotten a dozen transactions out of this in the first couple of months, what are you thinking? Scan that right there. Go to thecareercompass.com. Click the link in the chat box. Get into C4. My God, folks, it's next to nothing, and it means everything. I want to thank Lynn Hamilton. I want to thank all my other friends in there. We will see Lynn. We'll see you soon. We love that girl. She's awesome. Okay, we'll see her soon. We're going to be at the seminars. If you're in California, go to the website, sign up for the seminar. My God, what are you thinking? You're not in California, be in C4 or be both, whatever you need to do. All right, folks, please contact our office. Please email us with any questions, anything you want. Yes.
All right. Awesome. Beef, thank you so much. I'm going to answer a couple administrative questions. So if you can exit stage left, I'll take the rest on. Everybody say thank you to Beef. Yay
if you have any questions about your membership, this is Donna Brady. She's amazing and wonderful and awesome and killer, and she's a genius. Good luck. Good selling. I will see you at C4. I will see you at the Career Compass seminars. See you, everybody.
Okay. And guys, when you guys see that, if you're doing C4 and you see for 120 months, that's I have to, in the back office, we have to put a term on there for how long it can last. So we have 10 years until we have to update all your information again. You can cancel at any time, but that just means for 120 months, you can go ahead and we can have the same exact information on file for you without us having to do the privacy update and stuff like that. So that's what the 120 months is. But like Beef said, he explained 100 or you can cancel at any time. Just let us know. I think I had one other. Oh, and anybody that is signing up for C4 right now, we have had an influx of them. We will get to you as soon as possible. We'll process them as quickly as we can. I know you guys are eager and you're trying to get on the C4 website. Give us a couple hours, probably maybe another 24 hours total. There is probably a good 75 ones that we're working on right now frantically to get processed. So if you don't hear from us immediately, we're on it. So just bear with us. Do you have a discount rate for paying annually? Yes. If you go on the C4 website, if you go to thecareercompass.com and go under C4, you'll see that there's a monthly program at $19 a month, and annually you can pay, and that's $209, and that gets you a month free. So to get that deal, you have to go to thecareercompass.com, hit C4, and go ahead and do the annual one right there. Website is stuck. That is probably a local issue. I can test it right now. Yeah, I am moving around the website, no problem whatsoever. I'm testing it. SB, check your internet connection. Any other questions, guys, as far as administrative? Again, I know you guys, there's a ton of emails in here. I see them. We're going to get to them as soon as we can. So any individual answers, we'll get to you guys. All right. If that is all the questions, we will close out the meeting. If you guys want to see the replay, it'll take us a couple days to get this all done and processed and out to you. We'll post it on the website with a link, and that's what we'll email. Got in. Perfect. Thank you. We'll see you December 6th. Awesome. See everybody at Pechanga. If you're in Northern California, Roseville, he forgot to mention Roseville. We did have to reschedule that. We will be there in January. Please, please, please RSVP for that one as soon as possible. That is very limited space in Roseville. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next time. Again, if you need any questions, email support, SUPPORT, at thecareercompass.com, or you can call our office at 619-990-1106. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time, guys.